I'm like, okay, there's definitely demand for this. And I started looking into the companies, couldn't find any. So I just was like, holy smokes, I definitely kind of stumbled upon this industry. We're like, all right, let's do it. So the first month, it was like 17,000.
What's your average job size?
It's about 3,100. We've got around 70,000 on the schedule for each month up to October.
You'll do $1 million next year.
The new machinery got 0% financing for 60 months. Somebody's going to kill it with that little machine. You just have somebody who's operating joysticks from standing off to the side.
Had you ever used one before?
We've never used one.
Have you ever done a home service business before?
No.
So I was scrolling on Twitter the other day and I find this guy named Alex, and he started a brush clearing company in Cincinnati, Ohio. And his first month, he did almost $18,000 in revenue with 85% net profit margins. Why did he start this? Because he learned, holy crap, there is a ton of demand for brush clearing in my area, and almost no one is fulfilling this demand, because he had just bought 5 acres and he needed brush clearing. So having never started a home service or a local business or a sweaty startup before, he said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start a brush clearing business because I know there is so much demand for it and I can charge $2,000 a day. You can get the equipment financed. You can start this for very little money. And there's a ton of markets that have way more demand than supply. We got super tactical. We held nothing back. You are going to love this. Please share it with a friend, especially someone that might be interested in starting a local service business with very little money and very high margins. Tell me about how you even stumbled upon this industry.
So I bought a house and we have 5 acres. 4 of it was wooded. And I was like, okay, well, I have this nice yard, but I can't even use it. So how do I clear this? And I started looking into it and I couldn't find anybody. The closest person was over 100 miles away.
I don't want to dox you, but like what is the population or the size of your city? How far are you from a major metroplex that we might have heard of? Just to give us some bearing.
So I'm about 30 minutes from downtown Cincinnati.
Okay. In like a small rural city?
It used to be 10 years ago, it was a lot more rural. There's a lot more suburbs out here now. But so I'm kind of right on the edge of those suburbs. So there's like a 1,000-acre farm near me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, on the other side, you've got just tons and tons of subdivisions. So
Okay.
I'm kind of right on that edge.
It's funny because we're very similar. I live 30 minutes from downtown Dallas, and I'm like right near all the major Dallas suburbs, Plano, McKinney, and all that. But I'm in like this little rural pocket.
Yep.
Where
it's the best, isn't it? You still have property.
It's perfect. We have 3 acres.
Yeah.
Not a lot of it is wooded, but I've rented a skid steer about 4 times.
Yeah.
And I have no problem finding someone because there's 8 million people in Dallas and I'm close enough, right?
Right.
But you're in a much different situation from as far as like population is concerned.
Yeah. Texas is interesting. They're one of the few saturated mulching markets from what I've heard.
Interesting.
Yeah. Huh. So somebody out there must be really promoting it and doing really well with it, or a multitude of companies. One of the guys I've met is from Texas, and he just traveled up here because there was no competition.
Wow. Okay. So you bought 5 acres, 4 of which were wooded, and you need someone to come out and clear it, at least to some extent.
Yep.
You can't find anyone within 100 miles.
Yep. So then that got me thinking. I said, well, could I do this? and I started looking into it. I started looking around at my neighbors, and I'm like, everybody needs this. In Ohio, and I'm not necessarily sure in other states, but in Ohio in particular, especially our area, we have this plant called honeysuckle. I know it's pretty prevalent everywhere, but here in particular, it's really bad. And everybody has this problem. It's overgrowing on them constantly. What happens if you have any sort of property and you mow, it'll over time, 5 years from now, you've lost 15 feet of your property because it just keeps creeping over and over and over. So I just saw that everywhere. And I'm like, okay, there's definitely demand for this. And I started looking into the companies, couldn't find any. I found some owner operators that were just promoting on Marketplace. They didn't really have like a brand or anything kind of established. And so I started doing keyword research, and I'm kind of learning, off of X that I'm kind of doing like this old school version of keyword research, probably because I did it a lot back in the early 2000s or mid 2000s. But I just sat down and I said, okay, what people don't seem to know what forestry mulching is. If I type in forestry mulching, I'm hardly getting any sort of results. I talk to friends, talk to family. They're like, what is forestry mulching?
Hmm.
So I just started asking them. I said, okay, let's say you wanted to clear your property. You've got this problem. It's been overgrowing. You've lost 20 feet. What are you gonna search to try and find this? And so people were giving me ideas, clear my woods, get rid of this wild rose, destroy honeysuckle. And I just started taking this list into a spreadsheet of all the different terms that people would search for. And then I used a keyword tool, typing in those and seeing how many results they're getting.
Which tool did you use?
I think it was SEMrush. It's been about
Yeah.
2 years since I did
And
it, but
unlike Ahrefs, they actually have a free trial. So
yeah, that's yep. I almost never pay for those tools.
little pro tip. No, never.
Yeah, so I just noticed there's this huge search traffic. So I just was like, holy smokes, I definitely kind of stumbled upon this industry. I don't know anything about it, and just started looking into the equipment. And then my business partner Zach, he was a part of this whole idea process as well. And I was just, all the time like, okay, let's see. This is what the search data is showing. I think we can do this. And then we just kind of were like, all right, let's do it. I know how to run ads. I know marketing. I think we can solve this problem that I'm seeing with other companies. And what I mean by that, so I actually reached out to some tree service companies, because if you're trying to get this done, you would think, okay, maybe I'll just contact a tree service company. And what I found was these guys don't know how to sell this service, and they also don't have the operators. So you can't take a tree service guy and stick them in these machines. So they've never really pursued this, even though they got asked about it a lot. How to sell it is through content marketing.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, I think that's the answer. That's how we sell this. And so we went and bought the machine, and we didn't have any jobs on the schedule. I kind of cobbled together an ad. I actually used like Bobcat's YouTube channel, where they had a forestry mulching demo, to kind of cobble together my first ad.
You borrowed their video?
I borrowed I was like, well, it's Bobcat. I'm using their equipment. They're probably cool with it, right?
Sure.
I was like, until I at least get my own videos. And yeah, so I mean, we got inundated pretty quickly.
Now, when you say content marketing, you mean like paid content marketing, not necessarily
Not
organic?
necessarily. So like YouTube, I consider YouTube like content marketing. It can be used as content marketing. People have YouTube channels where they're trying to get tons of views. And I didn't approach YouTube that way. I don't care at all about the view count. I needed something that would support the business and support the service and support the marketing process. So I kind of see YouTube as a content marketing outlet in that sense.
So are you, because to me, content marketing is not the first thing I think of when I think of a local service business, because, the YouTube algorithm will spread your video far and wide, not necessarily to people that live in Cincinnati or thereabouts. So how do you approach that?
So I actually use local keywords. So when you're putting in your tags, I use the local keywords. I'll do like Cincinnati forestry mulching as part of my tags on YouTube videos. And
Interesting.
the reason is because if somebody local is searching that on Google, and you know how it shows the video results kind of up there first, it's more likely to show my video to them. So because it's specifically for my area. So I kind of use AdWords keywords in a sense onto my YouTube tags.
So here's how this works. I make you free videos. I actually know what I'm talking about. I have no greasy sales pitch at the end. And if you implement what I talk about, you'll make a lot more money and have a better life. And all I ask for in return is that you hit the subscribe button and maybe even the notification bell, just like that. Thank you. So is the hope then that someone local to your area who needs your service, they don't know it yet, they're typing around, they're clicking around, they're looking for content related to it because maybe they want to rent one themselves and do it or something. And then they see you and then they're thinking, yeah, let me just have this guy do it.
Not necessarily. So that's kind of a perk of it, is that if somebody's looking for it specifically, we're going to show up. But that's where the meta ads come in, because I see meta ads totally different than Google AdWords. Google AdWords is somebody's looking for your service. You're bidding against other people looking for your service. Meta to me is they're not looking for my service. I'm going to knock on the door and sell this to them, essentially, right? That's the way I see Meta. You're interrupting their flow, when they're scrolling through their timeline. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll make a cool video, highlight the problem. First, show that you're local. Local is the number one, because people you're not going to pay attention to it if you're not local. If they see, oh, wow, these people are local. Oh, dang, this is cool. Look at this thing in slow motion shredding this tree. And then I kind of introduce the service into that ad video. And then when people see that, I want them to say, well, I have this problem. They weren't necessarily looking for me. I just have to show them, like, here's a solution to a problem you probably complain about every spring when the leaves come back on the trees, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the way I use meta ads. And then I put the YouTube link on the ad, and then they go to our YouTube channel and they see, okay, look at all this content. Look at this job. Look at this before and after. This machine is crazy. They've never seen this before. And then I got to call them. And that's what happens. So we essentially reinforce that ad through our YouTube channel. We create fans.
That's cool.
It's crazy. I would say almost every customer has watched our YouTube channel. Some of them have watched every video, and they still do. Even the ones we've already, served.
That's amazing. I'm so glad this conversation took this direction, because I didn't know you were going to talk about YouTube or content marketing at all.
Yeah.
But this is awesome, because I own a tree trimming business, and that's not even on our radar. Content marketing.
So this winter I'm going to be doing one for tree service.
Okay.
Not for my company. I'm gonna help out somebody else.
So you're going to be like kind of an agency to another local tree trimming business to help them with content?
Yeah. I only do that kind of stuff if I think it's fun and cool to do. And I think this is a big tree service company. I think he's like $6 million a year, and he's referral only. He does not advertise at all.
How long has he been around?
I want to say doing tree service for 8 to 10 years.
Okay. So I pulled up your YouTube channel. You've been doing this for a year now on YouTube?
Yeah. So we just we're about a year and a month that we've been doing this business.
Okay. And you started YouTube on day one, basically.
Started on day one. Yep. Because I knew I needed I needed the videos. I like photography. I like videography as a hobby. So I love doing it anyways. I knew people would think this is cool to watch. So I went out and took my cameras and went out and recorded the first job. I utilized a lot of that footage for the ads. So yeah, and then I just kind of kept going. I just liked doing it. Eventually you'd have to pay someone to do it, but I just like it. So
are you editing it yourself as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're
not
set
that
up...
good, but the thing is like, it doesn't have to be that good. It just has to show people something.
So are you just setting up a phone on a tripod, or 2 phones, or 2 cameras, or what does your hardware look like?
So I have like a camcorder, a 4K camcorder. I've got action cameras. I have a Sony mirrorless camera. I actually just got a pin-on camera. It was the Go 3S, the Insta360. So yeah, I have all kinds of different cameras. I used to travel the country and go to national parks, and record stuff. So
this is awesome. Are you able to attribute a specific percentage of your business to YouTube? And if so, what does it kind of look like, give or take?
Directly from YouTube, or
just like the customers that touched YouTube in some way?
I would say most. So probably around 80%.
Wow. It's not independent of your meta ad strategy. It complements it.
It complements it. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the YouTube is for the ad strategy.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's so interesting.
To support it.
Are your most successful meta ads video?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Instagram
image
as
ads, image ads aren't even worth it. I don't even run image ads. People just scroll right past it. If you don't have like the perfect picture that's going to interrupt them scrolling on their feed, then so videos are much more interesting.
You're confining it to a geographical radius, and correct?
No. So okay, that's an interesting thing. I think a lot of people get wrong about meta ads, and agencies get it wrong. A lot of people get this wrong. So I don't confine it necessarily by a radius. I specifically choose zip codes where they're more likely to have large property. So because I don't want to blanket an ad to people who won't buy it, because then you're spending money to people who won't buy it. And then I target, and I say, okay, well, how do I target people who own land, right? Specifically land. And so in those zip codes, I'll target people who have an interest in Tractor Supply Company or Rural King. And
Oh,
then, yeah, so
yeah.
I'm only bidding on people who are over the age of 35, so they have money, they likely have land, and they're within my range.
Yeah. I said radius, I meant geofence. Like you're
Oh, yeah, yeah.
geofencing your ads.
Yeah,
You're
similar
not you're
thing.
not trusting Facebook to
Right.
show it to people in a certain geographical area. You're picking zip codes in this case.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I don't trust Facebook's audience algorithm at all. I like to choose it, and you should pick it, because there's no sense in advertising to people who wouldn't buy your service.
so do you do any paid stuff on YouTube or is it only organic?
No, I don't do any. No, it's all organic. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have like a particular cadence that you like to release YouTube videos or is it
No,
as it happens?
it's more so if I'm available to do it.
Yeah.
I maybe, I used to say I'd record 1 out of every 5 jobs. Now it's maybe 1 out of every 10. I'm gonna be doing a lot more videos, because I've stopped ads. We're booked out too far. It's hard to tell somebody on a quote like, "Hey, how about October?"
Yeah.
And it's the
Yeah.
middle of July. So, and I also wanna leave that kind of last month of heavy running open for referrals. I want people
Yeah.
that we've done work for to be able to refer their friend, and then us to be able to put them on the schedule this year.
Okay, so back to the research. So there weren't clear search terms for this because it's an obscure service. Clearly, people are searching for it. They're probably just not calling it like the official name,
Right. They have
forestry
no
mulching,
idea what
right?
to look right, how to look
Which
for
gave
it.
which gave you an opportunity. So you assembled a bunch of keywords yourself. Yeah, this
Yep.
probably took a few hours. Then you looked at the search
Few
volume
days.
relative few days,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
search volume relative to other industries and or other markets, correct?
Yep.
And this was just like screaming at you, like start this business.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's people have this problem. If I have the problem, then other people have it too, so other people have it way worse, I've learned.
Yeah.
So
Have you ever done a home service business before? Like a sweaty startup?
no.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
That's encouraging. All right, so let's talk timeline. 13 months ago, you hadn't booked any jobs. You didn't like pre-book stuff and then go rent a skid steer or buy a skid steer after you had jobs booked, correct?
Yeah.
You bought a skid steer. How
Yeah.
much was it? And then what did you do?
So I think it was around $90,000, and that was used with the head, and it was a used head as well. The reason that we didn't rent was because Bobcat charges 2,700 a day to rent it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah. So I was like, that's crazy. But they do that, and a lot of times they'll only rent to forestry companies. They won't even rent to other people, like an individual.
Because this isn't just an average skid steer you need, right? Like I rent a skid steer. I love it. It's my favorite Saturday of the month. And it's like $450 for a day. And it just has a bucket. There's no fancy attachment. It's probably a $25,000 skid steer.
Yeah, yeah. So these skid steers, they have to be the large ones. They have to have at least high flow, so what hydraulic flow, and they have to have the forestry kit. So the forestry kit is like an additional $15,000 kit. It's got a fall guard on the top, so if you cut down a tree, it's not going to smash the cabin. It's got three quarter inch polycarbonate screens all the way around, so the windshield, the side windows, the debris kit as well, so it keeps debris from going out down into the engine. They're pretty much, once you get the forestry kit on these, they're purpose built for this.
Yeah. And then you need the head in addition to that.
Yeah, so the head is included in the 90,000. I think we paid 15,000 for the used head. We
Okay.
just bought a new head and it was 38,000.
Holy cow.
Yeah, for that. Yeah, and we just bought a new machine too. I think overall we ended up around 129 for the
Okay.
new machine. However, the new machine, totally worth it. We will probably end up paying double on this used machine, because this stuff is hard on the equipment. It's definitely hard on the equipment, and having that warranty is very, very important. And Bobcat's very good about their warranty. Pretty much everything they'll fix under warranty. and they'll give you a new machine. So your cost on the machine under a warranty is very, very low.
So one of your regrets is buying used. If you could go back, you would buy new. What do the financing options look like on these, both new and used?
The new machine, we got 0% financing for 60 months.
What percent down?
We had to put 5,000 down on that.
That's nothing.
So yeah, not a lot.
Holy cow.
Yeah, they were doing some big Bobcat sales event. So the financing, I believe, is through Doosan or somebody who works directly. Doosan owns Bobcat. And then the used machine, we were around 7.8% at the time. So
what does your payment look like on both the 90,000 and the 130,000?
So the 90,000 around 1,400 a month, the 130 around 1,900 a month.
Man, okay, so you could pay for that in one job.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what we want to stay under that. So we want to stay under one job, and well, at least the revenue of one job. We just like that number. It makes the payment negligible.
Yeah, right. So just one job a month, and our overhead is zero essentially.
Yeah.
Are you storing this at your house on your property?
I was. So we just got a shop space. So at my property, we had to store them out. My barn wasn't big enough, right? So they were sitting outside. We didn't want that to affect the machine. They're tearing up my yard too, which I didn't like. So
yeah,
we ended up getting a shop space. We just got the shop last month.
Okay.
And the
Congratulations.
shop is, thank you, appreciate it. The shop is $1,500 a month. So, which is, I think it's on the high end, but we got the HVAC because we're going to run winter as well.
And how many square feet?
It's 2,000 square feet.
Oh, that's good. That'd be really good for DFW. Okay, so day one, you've got this $90,000 liability. I'm shocked that you can get in this thing for $5,000. I know that's a new deal, not a used machine deal, but that's shocking to me. Tyler, my stump grinding friend, he bought a $60,000, $70,000 stump grinder. I think he had to put 20% down on it.
Yeah, so I think a lot of that had to do with, we have a lot of history in businesses. So the lenders really looked at that. Like if you've never started a successful business before, they really don't like that. So they don't like just taking the risk on new guys, but they will.
Yeah.
They will, especially if your credit's good. They don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Or your wife's credit's good.
Yeah. Or your wife's credit's good. Yeah.
Okay. So day one.
So day one, I'm just, we get the machine in, we take it to my property to start testing it out, getting used to it.
So had you ever used one before? Did you do this on your own property? Had you rented one, or was this brand new to you?
We've never used one.
I love it.
So my business partner is our main operator right now, and he had run some stuff before, not quite like this.
Pushed a lawnmower before.
Yeah. But he picked it up pretty quick. So, and I used that opportunity of us testing it to get footage and things. And we also kind of broke it down, because it was a rental, it was in their rental fleet. So we pulled all the rent stickers off of it, put our branding on it. When we made the decision, I started the ads, and then we immediately started getting leads. And we basically had a job on the schedule within 2 days of getting this machine.
Man. Let's talk tactical about your ads. So you talked about your targeting strategy geographically, by more rural zip codes, 35 or older, landowners, tractor supply interests, etc. What about placement? Are you video in the Facebook newsfeed, Instagram newsfeed, stories, reels, etc.?
Yeah, so I let pretty much all of everywhere. So my goal is it's a lead ad, but I want exposure. The more exposure I can get on it, the more placements I can get on it, the more people know about this service. And so that's why, I've never been threatened by another company that's starting up or anything like that, because in this industry, we need people advertising. We need these companies because we need it. We're going to expand the ocean essentially.
Yep. Grow the pie. And I think that's an important distinction, because depending on what your strategy is, sometimes I only do Facebook and Instagram reels. Sometimes I only do Facebook newsfeed. But for something like this, I can see the value to doing, there's 23 different places you can put it. Audience network, the right side of the page, stories, reels, Facebook reels. So I see your logic here, because there are only so many people in 6 zip codes outside of Cincinnati that are 35 and older that own land. That's a very small market. So you want to look everything everywhere all at once to them, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you put it everywhere. Videos. What types of videos? Is it just you talking to the camera? Is it you in action?
It's sort of like a highlight reel kind of video. So it leads off with, the machine kind of munching down this big mulched area, or this big viney area. And then it cuts to based in Loveland, Ohio, and I've got this drone shot of the big water tower with the branding on it that everybody knows about, some kind of, local landmark that I used.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts into like a time lapse of us just crushing through all of this area. And then it's got just where it's like clear land fast. So it's very eye-catching, very interesting.
Quick cut.
Yeah, quick cuts. I always look at ads where if like I don't think it's cool, then it's not cool. Nobody's gonna like it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the way that I did. And I'm gonna be doing a new one soon, and I'm actually gonna be doing a like an old 90s infomercial style,
Oh,
where I'm gonna
nice.
have some dude on a mower that's like, oh, some branch hits him in the face,
Yeah.
knocks him off
Oh,
the
it's like
mower.
black and white.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the
Big
commercial, the
90s
Tupperware
graphics.
commercial, where
Yeah.
like the woman opens a cabinet and like 8,000 Tupperware fall
Right,
on
right,
her.
exactly. Except I'm gonna have brush hitting a guy in the face on his lawnmower, because
Yeah.
that's the number one complaint we get is like, I can't mow over there anymore. This
Yeah.
keeps hitting me in the face. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that as like an attention grabber, very overly animated.
Yeah. Quick question. What if there were a private community out there of people that were building businesses based on this podcast? Well, I just made it. And it's only for business starters and business builders. It's called TK Owners. And it's basically like having me and 100 other business geniuses as your business partner, but you give them 0% equity. Also, there's going to be exclusive new trends, growth hacks, business ideas, and a database of everything I've ever talked about. You'll find thousands of startup case studies. You'll have weekly Ask Me Anythings with me while I'll answer your questions directly. You'll be in my Slack channel where I'm hanging out every week and helping members one-on-one. We've got exclusive guest speakers, including some names that you'll recognize. And if you're building something cool, I'll introduce you to anyone you need. TK Owners is the fastest way to plug into a smart, ambitious group of builders and accountability partners that are sharing wins without the fluff. And it's $99 a month, about the cost of an energy drink per day. You can join now at tkowners.com, link in the show notes. So really, like, one video ad has been your stalwart.
Yeah, I mean, I've run other ones. I did a fence line one, so particularly people looking to clear fence lines. We've gotten really into the horse community from that ad. The horse community is a very tight-knit community, and these people all own land, right? So once you kind of get into that community, they start sharing your information. We get a lot of referrals from that. And their number one issue is keeping the stuff off of their fence. They need to be able to walk the horses around the fence. We did that ad. I tested other ones, but not for very long. Our bread and butter has been the one lead ad. It is time for it to be changed, though, so it'll be changed because it does decay over time.
Okay. When you say lead ad, you're keeping them within the Meta platform and you're getting their name, phone, email?
Yep.
And then do you have automation set up to reach out to them as soon as possible?
I wish. So we use House Call Pro. They charge, it's like $350 a month if you want access to their API. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But you have to go with their max plan. I'm like, I don't need anything else on their max plan except this API. So I haven't set up an automation for it. I do have, like, if somebody fills out our lead form, I do have automations set up to where it'll send us an email, send us a message on Telegram. But yeah, I don't have it with House Call Pro because of their cost of their API.
Yeah. Okay.
So we could afford it. I just don't. I can't justify it.
So you start getting leads like immediately. What does your close rate end up being?
49% right now. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's very high.
You can't quite close half of them. It's too bad.
I know. Right? I was at 44% for a while, and then I got up to 49, and I'm like, come on, just gotta get that 50.
And then what is your cost per lead?
So cost per lead average $23.
Holy cow. And then what's your average job size by revenue?
So it's about $3,100.
So $46 to convert a $3,100 customer.
Yep. That's why it's infinite.
That's outrageous.
I can basically run it to peak market size.
That's why, wow. That's why you're booked out. That's why you're in business.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. Okay.
I think also there's a lot of pent up demand. That is something I think about a lot, is because
so the CPL will probably go up over time. Just because you're competing with yourself, right?
Right.
So someone fills out the form, you give them a call. Is that the process? And try to get over there, quote it in person?
Yeah, so I give them a call, try to set up a time to quote in person. I mean, it's pretty easy. Like, as soon as I call them, they know, you know. Sometimes though, they fill out the form, and they're like, "Who's this?" And they just gave me their information. But yeah, I'll call them, and then I set up a time on the schedule to go out and give a quote.
Okay. Do you ever try to close over the phone, or have you ever been forced to?
I have closed over the phone. I don't try to.
Yeah.
It's
The close rate's not as good. I mean, it's
yeah,
just not.
yeah. I don't know. To me, it's an expensive service, and
Yeah.
people want to put a face to it. So to me, it's just I don't know. I don't feel comfortable just trying to close over the phone. I have had customers tell me that there's another company that's charging for quotes. They charge $50 to do a quote if they want them to come out, or they'll just, you know, hey, what's your property? They'll give them some rough quote off of a satellite image.
Mm-hmm.
And even well-intentioned customers, well-intentioned leads that are interested in your service can't afford it and don't appreciate that.
Okay. So $3,100 average job size. How many hours does that take on average?
31, I mean, that would be about a day and a half. So
Okay.
we
12.
typically would do by day, half day, multi-day.
Okay.
3,100 is the average because you get some that are booking for 4 days, 5 days, some are
Wow.
half days.
So that's kind of how you run the calculus in your mind when
Yeah,
pricing is by half day, multiple
yeah.
days. Okay.
I don't love that, but it's for some reason customers like it. I've tried to switch to quoting by square acre or square quarter acre and doing like the brush density, something that's kind of scalable, easier to where if I bring another sales rep in, they're not relying on just experience of looking at it. It's a very hardline thing. Even though the pricing came out to be the same,
Yeah.
customers didn't like it. My close rate dropped in half for a couple
Interesting.
weeks, and I'm not really sure why. I think they
Yeah.
kind of like that day service where, oh, if I could just extend it another day if I want them to keep going, you know?
Yeah. I feel like it's just when it comes to pricing in any industry, you just want to remove friction and confusion. And if they have to run any math or numbers in their head, which is second nature to you because you own the business in the industry, to them, it's like, if you're there that day, I want to know what I'm paying for that day. If I got to have you come back, what happens if you quote like a full day service, call it $2,500 or whatever, and it ends up taking like 2 hours? How long did it take you to learn that? You know, like, all right, this will take us a
I'm
day.
still learning it. I'm a lot better now, but that does happen. I mean, there's jobs where I quote them a day. It took us 3 hours. We end up charging them a half day. Or if it took 5 hours, then it's within that day scope. So they still pay for a full day. I've been off before by a couple days. So I've been short or long a couple days before because it's a large area.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't really know until they start cutting into it what it actually looks like 100 feet back into the woods because a lot
Yeah.
of these you can't even walk through them.
Yeah. So you've got your cost on the machine every month. You have your variable cost for gas, which probably isn't much. You've got a budget for repairs. I'm sure you're stocking some away.
Yeah,
And
about
then you've
15% for repairs.
15% right off the
Depreciation.
top
Yeah.
for repairs. Other than that, like these margins seem pretty juicy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they're pretty good actually. So yeah, our gross margin is 69.75.
Jeez Louise. Okay. Does that include you putting 15% away for repairs
Yeah.
or no? Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're not saving for repairs, it's 85%.
Yeah.
Just gas and travel because you're not really
Yeah.
paying employees yet. You've got an operating partner and he owns equity in the business, right?
Right. We are paying for one. So
One employee.
yeah, one.
Okay.
So he gets about 300 a day for a full day job.
Okay. What's the max diameter of these trees that you're able to mulch?
6 to 8 inches depends on the species of tree.
Jeez, that's
So if
pretty
it's like a
big.
really hard wood, it'll be on the lower side. If it's soft like a evergreen, it'll
Pine.
be on the higher side.
Okay. Now, are you ever having to get out of the skid steer with a chainsaw and take care of business?
No, I mean we've done it before, but we typically would tell the customer if it's too big, they'll have to
You just
call
leave it?
tree service.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever get referrals from other tree services or do you refer business to tree services?
Yeah, there's yeah, it's all the time. We actually kind of worked out a deal with the tree service for a while, where they would give us like a commission for referring trees to him. I think I ended up selling him about 80% of his schedule,
Wow.
but he never paid it. He never paid it.
I could
I
tell
don't,
in the disgust in your voice that it's not
yeah,
been a good
yeah.
experience.
So now I don't really refer anybody on tree services. I just kind of tell them like, hey, here's a few good companies. I could refer a tree service every other job because
Wow.
I come into something where they want it gone, but it's 20 inches wide, 20
Yeah.
inches diameter.
Yeah.
So
What about inbound? Are you starting to get more inbound calls and leads? And how has Google Business Profile served you?
you mean as far as outside of advertising, like organic? Our organic has gone up quite a bit. Our organic is now on our web traffic, it was around 36%.
Wow.
It's hard. My X profile kind of just took off, so I'd have to go back and look at the the data.
Yeah.
It's going to have a weird data point in there, but yeah, our organic is growing pretty rapidly, and that's another reason I turned off ads because I've only got so much time, and I still have organic leads coming in.
That's encouraging. A lot of times people count on organic from day one and
Yeah,
you just
I did
can't. You've got
not.
to go out and find the
Yeah,
business.
right. I did not count on organic at all because I knew
Yeah.
that Google wasn't really going to serve us up quite yet because the forestry mulching isn't even a service on Angie's List or any of these service sites.
So Thumbtack and all that, that's not even an option for
It's not
you
even an
yet.
option. Yeah.
Okay. It's a smaller industry. It's very niche,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but I think it's bigger than most people realize, but
Which is why you're
yeah.
doing so well. One reason, right? You're clearly like just doing the business well. Like you seem to be running it well. You have 5-star reviews.
Yep.
This is you, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's me.
It's not easy to have all 5-star reviews in home services, but people
Yeah.
ask me all the time, like there are thousands of home service niches. And I always say, look for the supply demand imbalance. In fact, I did a whole hour-long YouTube video where I live streamed myself researching an industry. And I say, find something high ticket,
Yeah.
something in the thousands of dollars range.
Yeah. I'm selling expensive service to wealthy people,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
More recession proof that way, I kind of look at it because wealthy people always have money.
Yeah, they do. All right, let's talk about your sales numbers from like month 1 to 13 to today. What did that look like? And how seasonal is it? Two questions in
So
one.
so the first month, I mean, I put up before it was like 17,000. Second month was a little higher in the 20s. It's been a while since I looked at last year, but we were only running one machine then. So we basically maxed out that one machine around the third month. And then we ran all the way till the end of November. So that one machine could do about, with one person running it, we we're doing about 30,000 per month until the end of November. It varies quite a lot for weather.
Mm-hmm.
So this year we got the new machine. We got that middle of May. So we've only been running two machines since then, since middle of May. We were getting so booked, we didn't really have a choice. It was funny when we were looking at it because we were like, oh my gosh, should we take the risk and get the new machine? We'd have to turn up a little advertising, And then now we got it, and it's like, oh my God, I could run 10.
Well, what's stopping you? 8 more machines.
It takes time to build cash flow too. So we're brand new. We're investing everything we possibly can back into it, and we'll get another machine. I think we could probably get 2 machines a year or 2 machines next year. So the 2
Wow.
machines can afford to buy 2 more machines next year, and then that kind of expands from there. The challenge we have right now is that one truck can move two machines, not at a time, but he's going and drops it off at the job site, picks it up, and just goes to his job site right now. However, a third machine is just not feasible. You'd have to have him not running equipment at all, just dedicated to moving equipment around. So ideally what we need is to get a larger truck, something that can, and a larger trailer that can haul 2 machines at once.
Mm.
So that would
Mm-hmm.
drastically reduce our costs on running equipment around and our
Yeah.
time investment.
So
Which is also
your first employee, is that the guy running the second machine while your operating partner runs the first?
correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then we have a part-time operator that'll help, but it's my business partner's father-in-law. He retired as an equipment operator.
Oh, that's perfect.
So he just steps in every now and again when, he wants some money.
What
We have
what do
unlimited
you
work for him, so.
right. What do you pay your employee? Is it per hour? And if so, what?
So we're paying him on the day. So we give him
Okay.
300 for the full day.
Okay.
We're kind of treating him at this moment as a subcontractor.
Yeah.
So that won't be forever though. So we'll end up bringing him on.
I mean, that's $100,000 a year if he worked every business day.
Yeah.
That's not bad, especially considering other like harder, because he's air conditioned in there, right?
Yeah, air conditioning.
Yeah, I mean, if he does landscaping or something, you'll probably make about the same, if not less, and have a much harder
joysticks all day, basically.
Yeah.
Listening to podcasts, music.
And let's talk about how fun it is. Like, how fun is land clearing? Like, that is cool. So enjoyable.
Yeah. It's actually surprisingly rewarding too. There were some things that, we had our very first customer. She took over her parents' property. Her parents passed away. The property had been completely overgrown, and we cleared it all. And she just started crying, and I was like, I wasn't expecting that. She's like, "This is what it used to look like when I was a kid,"
Wow.
So it really brought a lot of memories back for her to see it the way that it used to be.
Yeah.
So it is cool. It's very rewarding.
When she started crying, your mind went from, holy crap, why am I in this business? I really screwed up, to this is the best business ever.
Yeah. Yeah. It was cool. I was like, wow, I didn't realize it would have that kind of impact on people. So, but it does, not most people are like that, but there's definitely some.
So what are your monthly sales like today, and what do you project them to be? Or is it just based on how many machines you have?
So last month we did 54,000. It's been a very, very rainy spring. I think we're like the seventh highest rainfall in recorded history out here right now. So if it rains a lot, we'll sink into the mud and we won't run. So, but we're entering into the summer months. So we've got around 70,000 on the schedule for each month up to October.
Holy
so
cow.
70,000 next month.
Good for you.
And
You'll do $1 million next year.
Probably, yeah.
So video is cool, but you know what's better? Long form audio via podcast and my newsletter, tkopod.com. Go there to subscribe for free to my newsletter. It's 1 email a week, very tactical. And then go to my audio podcast, 3 episodes a week, stuff like this. You're going to love it. All free, no sleazy sales pitch, tkopod.com.
If we get a pretty normal year, we're projecting to be around 500,000 with 2 machines. And that's running 9 months. So, however, as we get more known, and especially with these horse farms and stuff, these horse farms, they don't care about ruts on their property. So you're talking being able to run large jobs all winter as well, which is something we didn't do our first year. We just kind of supplemented with our time with snow clearing.
Yeah.
But
so it doesn't have to be seasonal if you find more horse customers or the right types of customers.
Yeah. Any large farm property, they don't really care about ruts on their property. A lot of them just want to open it up. They're going to bush hog it twice a year. But yeah, any like residential kind of stuff, they do typically care. If they've only got 4 or 5 acres, they don't want it torn up. They just want it opened up so it's usable.
Yeah.
If you put 8-inch ruts in people's property, that's
right.
a problem.
Now, when you run like the search traffic numbers and you look at what your TAM, your total addressable market is in your local area, without having to really expand out much to other metroplexes, what do you think the ceiling is for your business, or what is the total market share for the whole industry in your area?
We could probably run about 10 machines. So, and that's if we took over a majority of the market share within our immediate area.
Okay.
If we started traveling out, we could do more. We don't target commercial. We get contacted by commercial, but there's a lot of commercial work out there. It's hard for me to say because it is kind of a lesser known industry, and it is hard to get a lot of this data. So,
well, if you're doing 2,000 a day per machine and you're booked 5-6 days a week, that's $6 million a year at like 70%. Your margin will probably drop a little bit as you hire more people. Call it 50%. Yeah. That's a $3 million net profit business in one local market. Like, that's outrageous.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Yeah.
And if anyone's listening in Cincinnati, don't even think about it. He's going to crush you. He's just going
Oh,
to
I'm
crush
not
you.
worried about it. I want him to start, you know?
Yeah,
I want it because it increases the size of the market entirely.
it really
The more
does.
people who knows about it. It's a educate the customer kind of business.
Yep. That's a very like mature insight. I'm not trying to sound patronizing, but
Yeah.
it's like the default is to have such like this limiting mindset. Like Elon said the same thing about electric cars. Like bring on the competitors. I need electric cars to be normalized, you know? That's what's happened, right? Like
Yeah.
Tesla 10, 15 years ago, they never thought they would have been selling, well, he did, but no one else, none of the analysts thought they'd be selling millions of cars per year because it was so niche, but they wouldn't be if it weren't for all of the other electric automakers out there, you know?
Yeah.
What a beautiful business. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention or talk about that we didn't cover that people might find helpful or interesting?
So I had this idea. There's a machine that's called the Green Climber. I made an X post about it.
Yeah.
And I really want somebody out there because I'm not going to do it quite yet. I do want somebody to take on this business. So it's basically a remote controlled machine, very low risk. You just have somebody who's essentially just operating joysticks from standing off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
It
To the
does
side, not below it, right?
yeah. A 45-degree angle away from it. That's the yeah.
Yeah.
But it's relatively affordable. It's on the expensive side for what you think it would be, but it does stuff that we cannot do. So it'll do like steep hillsides, ditch lines. It's perfect for cutting paths. And there's a lot of work out there for that kind of stuff, especially commercial, where commercial buildings in particular, they have stuff that grows up into their edges of their parking lots. And it's the perfect machine for that. I think it could be sold door to door, not like selling a pressure washing service almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really want somebody to do that. And if they do that, let me know how it
Yeah.
is. It's just a really cool thing that I've never seen before. And I don't think anybody does it in the whole country.
Because you're turning down business because it's too angled in places.
Yeah, it's too steep for the skid steer. So typically what I'll do is I'll offer them the option of the Green Climber because I can rent it. And it's expensive though. We charge like $3,000 a day to run the Green Climber.
Wow.
It's a specialized machine. It costs us. We have to go pick it up. Now the good thing about it is you can just pull it with a regular truck. It's
Oh,
not like
wow.
a skid steer where you need a 1-ton truck.
And how much does it cost to both rent and buy?
Rental is about $1,000 a day to rent it. Buying, see, that's a tough one because I've asked that for some reason these equipment dealers are very weird about private about their pricing. I've been told $150,000 for a machine, and I've been told $70,000 for the machine.
Yeah.
So huge difference, but it could just be the different machines. I think the smaller ones around the 70, the larger ones around the 150.
You know what business this reminds me of? Last summer, I interviewed some teenagers that started a pond cleaning business, and they use expensive equipment they go to lakefront homes that have docks that are just completely surrounded by seaweed, and it looks gross, and their grandkids can't swim in it. A business that 99% of people didn't know existed, including myself, until I saw these guys on Instagram.
Yeah.
And they have one expensive piece of machine, but they're able to charge ridiculous amounts to go scoop out and like scrape off the floor of the lake all this seaweed. And what I love about it is I like calling it fish where the fish are, right?
Yeah.
They're only knocking on doors, sometimes literally, of homes that are lakefront and homes that they know that all their neighbors have the same seaweed. And so if they can get one customer, they can get 10. And I see this as very similar of like, hey, I see this ditch. Everyone's got this ditch. It's ugly. It's going to look kind of worse almost if only 1 or 2 people get it done.
Oh, it happens all the time. I mean, what happens? You clear somebody is at their property line, and then you make this
their neighbors look like
wall
slobs.
of brush, right?
Yeah.
And then now the neighbors looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because it's not all just one congruent area anymore. Their neighbor just had it cleared and it looks so nice. And so then we end up doing the neighbor's property. The same thing would be true with this machine. It just does smaller stuff, but a majority of the work is in the smaller stuff.
That's a very interesting business. I'm sure you could get these financed as well, right?
Oh yeah, definitely can get these financed. Yep. There are other companies that make a similar piece of equipment, but primarily these are sold to like city workers or highway workers where they clear the hillsides on the edges of the highways. And so I think that this company in particular, they really only ever market towards government, but the average person needs this machine as well.
Yeah.
And, I quote these jobs, but typically for me, it's a larger hillside. If it's small enough, I'm kind of like, I don't even want to, it's not even worth me doing like a half day on this because I got to rent it, I got to bring it
Yeah.
out. But there's so many little half day, couple hour things that can be done with that machine. And you can literally door knock and sell this. So yeah,
This
you can put
this is a
flyers
good.
up. It's somebody's gonna kill it with that little machine one day.
Yeah.
It's just that nobody's targeted it.
Yeah. That is some great insight. Thank you. Well, Alex, this has been amazing. Where can people find you if you want them to find you?
So you can find us on YouTube. It's Brushworks Co. on YouTube.
Brushworks Co. Okay.
Yep. We're trying to hit to 1,000 subscribers just because it opens up the next level for us. But
Well, when we
yeah,
publish this to YouTube, we'll tag your account and I'm sure we could get you there.
yeah, I appreciate it. And then our website is brushworksco.com.
That's a great name. Okay. All right. Please let me know in the comments if I should do more deep dives on sweaty startups, high ticket home services like this. I've done one on stump grinding, junk removal, dumpster rentals, pond cleaning. I love these industries and I'll do more if there's demand. Please share the Kerner Office with a friend and we'll see you next time.